Keep clapping. I'm not ready yet.
Okay, you can stop now. That's the main reason that I do stand-up comedy. I'm a little bit of a narcissist. Man, I like having that kind of control over people, and the president was already taken. So I just had to do comedy's the closest I can get. Bro, I wish I had that power in everyday situations, like in the bedroom, you know, like keep clapping, I'm not ready yet. Keep clapping, I'm not. He's a performer. What's up, Ann Arbor? How we doing? We good? Got your feet up on the stage? You must feel like you at home, huh? Them big ass shoes you got on. You didn't tell her not to do it. You was like, babe, whatever you want. Just, you still gonna do that thing later? Okay, whatever you want. And she didn't take them down. And she doing that thing later. I appreciate that. Man. We're gonna have fun tonight. This is my first time headlining here, guys. So we're gonna have a good time. And I wanna get this out the way and say that I'm glad that they were wrong. Because when they originally approached me, like, Ricarlo, you wanna come down from Muskegon and perform at Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase? I was like, hell yeah. I was like, do you think we're gonna get a pretty diverse crowd? And they just like laughed and hung the phone up on me. And I was like, cool. Cool. I see you over there. I see my people over there. I see the chips in the cookie. What's up? They're right there. Yeah. See, that's a special ability that brown folk have. We can just sense ourselves around, you know. Hey, right there. See, there's more brown people. Man, but they were wrong, though. This crowd is super diverse. You guys touched on like 7 different kinds of white. I like that. I feel safe, is what I'm saying. I didn't even lock my doors. I also want to apologize to you guys. I'm usually a very animated comedian, like, you know, flipping all over the stage and all that crazy shit. Not tonight. Not tonight, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you the whole time I'm up here. Let's get this out the way. Your boy's high as hell right now. Let's just address the elephant in the room. I will get things wrong tonight. It's the power of Michigan weed. It's the power of Michigan weed. It's legal, I know, that's the best. It's legal, but you lose. We lost things when it became legal. We lost community. My best friend used to be my weed man, and he was like, you wanna play Madden and get high? Hell yeah, give me that controller. And then 5 years later, he's watching my daughter now. He's Uncle Jeff, you know? Back in the day, it took a crew of people to smoke weed. You couldn't do it by yourself. You know, now we got pre-rolls, you know, and it takes away the community of smoking weed. You needed people because you needed that one friend with the really good eyes and small fingers to get all the sticks and seeds out of the weed, you know? Then you pass that down along to the one friend with the stickiest spit so they can roll the blunt, you know, just brought families together, weed. These days, you go into a dispensary, it's a weird experience. They're trying to tell you all this shit that you don't need to know. Oh, well, you know, this is mixed with purple haze and a little bit of this. Look. All I need to know is just stay at home or go outside with you. That's all I need to know, man. All this other stuff, I don't give a damn. Just, if I go in public, can I operate off of this weed? What I want to know. I made the mistake and I didn't ask this question one time, you guys, and I smoked some stay-at-home weed and went outside. I was on my way on the show. I was on my way to a show, driving on the highway. I looked down. I was going 35 miles an hour on the highway. And it didn't matter how hard I pushed my accelerator. My car wouldn't go any faster. Like I smoked the weed in the car. My car got high, too. The radio turned on like, motherfucker, pull over. And I was like, you right, weed, car. Let's pull this shit over. Man, where's the weed smokers now? We got weed smokers here? Oh, major one. They pointed you out. Dang, you got a do we need to turn this into an intervention? Did everybody bring their letters? What do you like to do when you get high? When you get good and ripped, what do you like to do?
She likes to get crossfaded.
Crossfaded? What the fuck is that? See, white people always coming up with new shit. Okay, explain to me what crossfaded is.
Drunk and high.
Drunk and high. Oh, okay. Well, that's just Saturday. Like that. I feel like you're the real smoker. You the smoker?
He needs to smoke.
He needs to smoke? He got ADHD?
Anxiety's up here.
Oh, man, we'll get high after the show. I got something perfect for that. I like to get high and indulge in what I like to call my high hobbies. And if you guys don't know what a high hobby is, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a hobby you only do when you're high, because that's the only time it makes sense. If I'm being honest with you, Ann Arbor, the high hobby I've been indulging in recently is I've been trying to domesticate this group of squirrels living in my backyard. But the problem is I've never domesticated anything in my life. You know, I've raised kids, but I've never domesticated anything. That's different. And like my plan goes as far as feed the squirrels. That's it. I was just in my backyard one day like, I could do it. But the problem is, like, what if the squirrels start to look at me as like their squirrel messiah? Sent to bring them down out the trees, but I'm just a high idiot in my backyard. Then you guys see a story on TikTok about Muskegon man killed by a highly organized group of squirrels? Like, I want to be famous, but not the fuck like that. That's not. It's hot up here. It's not hot up here, it's just that I'm getting old, is what it is. I'm turned into an old, sweaty man, you guys. It's an amazing transformation. I'm 43, you guys, I'm 43. And I know, like, real old people get offended, like, I'm still in their valor. Like, 43, like, I'm not getting AARP yet, but they're sending me shit in my email. Like, I'm getting ready for it. There's things that happen to you when you hit your 40s that they need to prepare you for, and they don't. This is the things they need to teach you about in high school. Like, I don't like the fact that my body's changing. I don't like the fact that everything jiggles when I brush my teeth these days. Before, it was just my arms, but now my toes are getting involved. I should do something about that, you know? I don't like it. And here's one thing. Did you guys know after you hit your 40s, you have to sit down with a plan? You know? Remember when you were a teenager, you could plop down, you had a bad day, you're like, life sucks. You just threw yourself onto your bed any kind of way because you knew when you landed you were gonna be okay, right? Not in your 40s. I didn't know this, you guys, and a week after I turned 40, I was having a little bit of a bad day. I went to my friend's house and I decided to plop down. I plopped down on his couch. And what I didn't know, that there was a hard wooden bar right underneath the cushion. And when I sat down, I felt a pop. Didn't think anything of it. Till the next morning when I went to get out of bed and I couldn't move. I was like, what the hell? So eventually, you guys, I made my way to the doctor, you know, because you gotta go to the doctor to take care of these things. And my doctor asked me, Ricarlo, what do you think happened? Can you think of like any impact or anything like that? And I lied to my doctor, you guys. I was honest with you. I told my doctor, I was playing basketball yesterday, and I think I dunked it a little bit too hard. That's not what happened. And here's something else that they don't tell you, you guys. Did you know that when your back's already messed up in your 40s, everything like coughing can make it worse? I didn't know that. I had to learn that the hard way when I was in my garage tending to my squirrels like a fucking adult. And I coughed and I felt another pop. I was like, oh no. So at this point I was like, I should probably call my mom. That was my first thought, because I'm like, she's 80, she was a nurse, she'll know what to do. So I called my mom up and I was like, Mom, I was in the garage, and I left my back up a few weeks ago and I coughed and I felt another pop. And my mom's response to that was, yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, that'll do it. What the hell you mean that'll do it? She's like, Ricky, you gotta start bracing yourself against these things. I gotta brace myself against life events? Like, I used to be an athlete. Now my body's made out of freaking particle board and hope. This is bullshit. I don't like it. I don't like it, you guys. Man, I thought things were gonna get easier the older you got, right? Like, I thought I was gonna become like an alpha male out of nowhere. I am not. Manliness does not come with age. I didn't know that, you guys. I'm not an alpha male. I've never been a tough guy, but I wanna be a tough guy, And there's a few things that tell me I'm not an alpha male. And, okay, this is embarrassing, but I feel like we're family at this point.
We are.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you the ultimate story that showed me I'm not an alpha male, you guys. 2 years ago, Thanksgiving, we're all at my house. My mom's there, my kids are there, We just got done with dinner. We're chilling, watching TV. My mom's in the kitchen, right? And all I hear from the kitchen is, Ricky, there's a bat in here. And I'm like, nah, Mom, I don't play baseball. Like, there's no bats in here. Like, she's like, no, like a bat. I'm like, what do you mean? And I see my mom, she's like 4 feet tall, trying to run away from this bat at 80 years old. It was hilarious to me. And so all I know is I closed my eyes and me and my kids ended up outside. I don't know, you ever been so scared that you teleport? That's what happened. Like, I closed my eyes and luckily I had my baby with me. I could have left her too, I didn't. I don't know where the other 2 kids went. They fended for themselves. So the bat's in the house, I'm standing outside and my mom's still inside. And I'm like, I should go save her. But then at the same time, I looked at my daughter and was like, Grandma's lived a long life. I mean, I don't know. So finally, I toughened up and I was like, I'm gonna do something, you guys. You guys know what I did to save my mom and our family? I called the police. It's what I did. I called the police and I was like, hello, there's an intruder in my house. And they're like, oh, can you give me a description? And I'm like, yeah, it's a bat. And they're like, he's dressed like Batman? I'm like, no, it's a bat. And they were like, did you call the right number? And I'm like, yeah, send the fucking police. I'm a taxpayer. And then they hung up on me and I had to move. So that, the bat's doing some really nice things with the landscaping at the house. Oh man, I want to be a tough guy. I realized another thing that lets me know I'm not a tough guy. I'm 43 years old, you guys. I've never been in a fight before. I've never been in a fight. Oh, thank you. Mom, is that you? No. Never been in a fight before, and I feel like at 43 years old, it's too late for me to get into the fight game.
Yeah, it probably is.
Oh, okay. That's my mom's looking out for me. She is very concerned with everything I got going on up here. What, did she say something smart? What'd you say?
I said I'd be your mama tonight.
Oh, shit. That'll cost you. That'll cost you that. We'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that in a minute. Did you hear what she said to me? Should I do it? No, this way. Oh. This is fun. I feel like I can say anything with y'all. You guys are a fun-ass crowd. Still got your feet. Oh, you took your feet off the stage. Don't put them back. It just stopped smelling like corn chips up here. You put your feet. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Don't let me. Okay, she left me hanging. High five from somebody. This is a weird ass show and I love it. Nah, but I've never been in a fight, you guys. Never been in a fight before. And like, what if, I feel like it's too late because I don't know what my body's gonna do in that situation. You should know before 43 years of age how you're gonna react in a stressful situation like that. Like, what if you come up to me after the show, sir, and you're like, you were making fun of my girl's feet all night. And you're like, motherfucker, let's do it. And you jump at me, and my response is, cut it out. Like, what if, I don't know, that could happen. I've never been in that situation before. And ladies, have you ever seen a fight about to break out at the bar? You're like, send me the twitchy one. No. Not how cavemen spread their seeds. Nah. I hate to disappoint some of the ladies in here and some of the guys. Maybe I know you were looking at me like, being honest, 2026. I know you were looking at me like, damn, Ricarlo's a big guy. He could protect me if something were to happen. No, I can't. All I can do is I can identify the exits in any room that I go into really fast, right there and right there. And I can get to them faster than you would expect a man my size to move. And don't get me wrong, like if I'm on a date, you know, like I'm gonna hold her hand and make a hole and all that shit. But the second I feel any resistance, I gotta let go. She don't want to live enough for me, like that. For real, man. It's hard. It's hard being a big guy. It's hard being a big, soft guy, you know. Y'all gotta tell me I got dirty up here? No. For real, it's hard being built like this, you know. 6'4", 260-pound black man. Do you guys realize the big dick pressure that is on me every day? People expect it to be down to my knees. Like, it's not, I'm okay, but I'm not that. You know the pressure that when every time you go on vacation, like a middle-aged white couple is looking at you to put the spice back in their marriage. Like that? It's a lot of fucking pressure is all I'm saying. I can't go to any Midwestern town. I feel like a piece of meat. And it's always the same thing. It's always the same thing, you know. I'll be sitting at the bar, having a drink, and then I feel the eyes on me. And it's fucking Bob and Deb from Saskatchewan or some shit like that. And then the husband comes over. It's always the husband that comes over first. And he hits me with the, hey, brother, don't say that to us. We know that's just nigga lights. Don't call me brother, don't. Brother. What do you want, man? He'd be like, so, me and the wife were sitting on there. She's got a little bit of a sweet tooth tonight. And wondered if you want to come back to our room and make a chocolate sundae. I'm like, what the fuck? Which one's your wife? Which one? Her? Yeah, fuck it, come on, let's go. And the husband's sitting over in the cuck chair. Oh, you guys know what the cuck chair is? Wow, Ann Arbor's freaky as shit. Like, normally I got to explain what the cuck chair is, but you guys are like, no, we know all about it. Move on to something hardcore, sir. Man, you guys are my kind of crowd. Oh man, it's hard looking like this. But I am trying to like get like I'm a bigger guy, I'm getting older, you know. So I'm trying to work out. You guys working out there? You getting in shape? A little bit? Okay, cool. I know you are. You just happy for everything. That's the lady that want to take me home. Y'all gonna need somebody to walk me to my car afterwards. I don't feel safe anymore. I did feel safe in the beginning.
And you shouldn't.
Oh. I should have kept your ass in Muskegon this weekend, buddy. I thought it'd be a good idea to come down here. Now I'm gonna get assaulted by an elderly lady. Finally gonna go viral. It's worth it, maybe. Wow, y'all some freaks. But what was I talking about? I forgot. Working out, thank you. I am, you guys, I'm working out, I am. And I'm not working out to get healthy, because that's stupid. The real reason I'm working out is, okay, I want to develop that V, you know? Ladies, you know that V that dudes that are in shape have? It's like a dick arrow, you know? Like, you don't gotta look for nothing, bullseye. I want that shit. Because I feel like if I had that, if I was all V'd up, right, you know, and like me and a girl were getting ready to go out and I was at my house and I'm pulling out my leather pants, because I'd be hot enough to pull off leather pants. And I was pulling my pants up and my V was flexing all slow. She'd be like, ooh, fuck that boy, we ain't going nowhere. Come here. And like she slide down my V, right? And I just be like, what are you doing? But if we're being honest, Ann Arbor, I currently have more of a U. So now when I'm putting on my tech pants at home, girls just run up and go, And I don't like that, I don't. I'm working on myself, trying to get in shape. I am trying to get in shape so I can date more. I'm single, you guys. I'm doing the single thing. Where the single people at? Cool. I know. We know you're single, even if. Can you talk to your grandma? Can you talk to Nan, please? I was about to stop sweating, and every time she says something, I get going again. Making me, okay, all right. If you were like 30 years younger, we'd be into something. You know what? Oh, I went too far? I'm sorry. You want me to take one for the team tonight? Okay, you know what? We're gonna fuck after the show, because everybody, Jesus Christ. I try to defend my honor. You guys turn on me? Give it to that old lady, you monster. The fuck is this? She threw a condom on the stage, y'all. I've never had this happen before. But at the same time, I am 6'4" and black, so this won't fit. You got a golden wrapper in there? That's more my speed. What the fuck is going on? Oh, this is a party. This is a party. I wish you were throwing money up here. I thought you was gonna throw some money out. Woo! Y'all are dope as shit. I feel like I can get weird with you guys. Can I get weird? Can we just go off the rails now at this point? Okay. Got some time left. You guys, I feel like that one ad on Pornhub is really judgmental. And we all know what ad I'm talking about. You won't last 30 seconds with this game. 30 seconds? 30 seconds? Fucking nothing.
Give me my condom back.
No. No, I think it's safer with me. Gotta watch you. You know what? Bring me a new water. I don't trust her. That one ad on Pornhub, man. 30 seconds. 30 seconds? That's nothing. What the hell do they have behind that paywall that I'm not gonna last 30 seconds for? Is it my high school secretary, Miss Salvatore? The day that she wore a blouse that was a little too thin and the wind hit just right, and I had my sexual awakening before second period? I didn't last 30 seconds for that. But Marge blowing Quagmire, I think I can handle it.
What about Muskegon?
What about Muskegon? What about? I'm gonna get to that in a minute, sir. That's my uncle, Tobias. I bring him everywhere with me. What if the marketing starts to work in 30 seconds? 30 seconds, you get that stuck in your head. You're driving home, you're like, 30 seconds. You get home, you kiss your wife, you guys sit down for dinner, you're eating dinner, you're like, babe, I last longer than 30 seconds, right? And your wife looks at you like, yeah, what are you talking about? You're like, nothing, the fettuccine's amazing, And then you guys go to bed and you engage in coitus and you complete in 29.9 seconds. And then your wife's just sitting in bed like, we told you you wouldn't last 30 seconds with this game. And then you take off the VR headset, you're in the middle of a Dave and Buster's, And we call that movie Total Recall 3. I think it's on Netflix. Doing comedy, I drive around and I just have a lot of thoughts. I become very opinionated. I just want to share some of my opinions with you at this point. That okay, just some things that I feel, and maybe you agree with me, maybe you don't. If you don't, I don't care. I'm still gonna say it. You guys, and this one's stupid. I'm gonna preface that with this. This thought is very dumb. But I don't think there's ever been anybody in history that's had a sexy poop voice. You're like, Ricarlo, what's a poop voice? That's the voice, okay, put yourself in the moment, you're doing your thing, and somebody asks you a question through the door, and you answer mid-struggle, that voice. I don't care if you're Beyonce, you're not sounding sexy right then, you're not. That's my personal opinion. You guys, I'm a firm believer that you need to meet everybody in the friend group before you decide on who you want to date. You be like, well, Carlo, that's really shallow. No, it's not. Ladies, think about this. You meet a guy, you meet a nice guy, you meet a nice Doug. Let's say his name's Doug. You've been going out with Doug for a couple weeks. Finally, you go out, you meet all of his friends, the big friend hangout. That's a big step in a relationship. You're meeting his friends. Doug goes to the bathroom, and all of his friends, they look, make sure he's gone. Then they look at you, and they're like, you are a saint. You're like, wait, what? They're like, we didn't think Doug was ever going to date again after the incident. The incident? What do you mean? Legally, we're not allowed to talk about it. Legally, you're not allowed to. What the fuck do you mean by that? It's later in the night. Doug's running down the street, buck naked from the police. He's been tased 8 times. And his friends are just like, classic Doug. Classic Doug? You look at his one friend, oh, what do you do? He's like, oh, hi, I'm Bruce. Oh, hey, Bruce, what do you do? I'm a surgeon. Oh, wow, what kind of surgeon? I'm a puppy surgeon. A puppy surgeon? He's like, yeah, nobody can work on those tiny little bodies except for me, and I have these amazing hands. And you could have dated a puppy surgeon, now you're dating naked-ass Doug running down the street because you weren't more selective. That's all I'm saying. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just me. I was talking about dating earlier. I'm dating, and maybe you guys can help me out because I'm worried about going from dating into a relationship. because you give up certain perks going from dating into a relationship. Where's the married people at? Let me hear it. Married people? People that live with their significant other? Okay, cool. You guys remember the good old days when you could, leave? Remember that? Remember those good old days? The power of a good leave? They're being crazy. You're like, you know what? I'm out of here. And you went to a completely different place away from the crazy. That was nice, right? What do you do when you're living with your partner? You just roll over aggressively and make that fucking blanket border between the two of you? You can still feel him staring at the back of your head like, if I was dating this motherfucker, I'll go home right now. And now we gotta talk about it in the morning. And I think, maybe this is just me, but I think the oral sex you get from both sides when you're dating, way better than that shit when you're in a relationship. Because when you're dating somebody, it's based off of mostly animalistic attraction. Like they're just hot, You haven't got to know them deeper as a person and all this bullshit. Like if you're dating a girl and you gotta run into the office on a Saturday, she'd be like, hold on, where are you going? You go, oh, I just gotta run to the office real quick. She'd be like, ooh, I'd love a go-getter. Come here, boy. No. Oh, okay, Ann Arbor, if they're doing it right, it probably shouldn't sound like that. It's a lot of weird sounding blowjobs out here. That's why I stay single. No, oh man, this is fun. You guys having fun? You having fun? We still in there? We good? I want you to know me. I want you guys to get to know me, feel like you can come and talk to me like I'm your big cousin after the show, So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of background about myself. It's time to go back in the past. You can learn about where all this crazy came from. Muskegon. Let's start there. I'm from Muskegon, you guys. I'm from Muskegon. You guys familiar with Muskegon? Yeah. All right. So I'm proud to be from Muskegon. But my part of Muskegon is I live in Muskegon Heights, and we have 12,000 residents in Muskegon Heights, and we have 2 strip clubs. That's disgusting. We're not really a 2 strip club kind of town, And it's not like I love going to strip clubs, because I don't, but when I do go to them, I want to go to the nice ones in the big city, where you go in there and it smells like the dancers' names a little bit, like Jasmine and Cinnamon. It's nice. Like in the big city, the DJ gets on the mic and he's like, all right, put your hands together, come into the stage, Maserati. You're like, oh shit, it's always like an exotic car, Like, let me get $1, I'm a tip tonight. I don't have the same experience when I'm back home in old Muskegon. You go into one of our strip clubs and it usually smells more like hot dog water and regret. It's a very pungent aroma. I don't like it. They in there giving struggle lap dances. You ever get a struggle lap dance? They grind harder than the other ones. I don't know why. It's like, get the fuck off of me. When I'm back home in Muskegon, the DJ gets on the mic and he's like, all right. Put your hands together, come into the stage, Buick. Gross. Put your money away. Well, my uncle got one in the backyard we can go look at for free. I had a very unique childhood growing up in Muskegon, guys. I was adopted. I actually was adopted by my older aunt and uncle. So that makes me like just a shitty Fresh Prince of Muskegon. Because like Will got adopted and went to Bel Air. He had a butler, I got adopted and they set my ass down the street. I was still in Muskegon. I'm like, I'm pretty sure the dudes that are up to no good are still in my neighborhood. Where the fuck's my butler at? Also, my parents were older when they adopted me. I had older parents. They were like 55 and 60 years old when they adopted me, and I was only 3 days old. So they had no idea how to raise me. So they just tried to raise me to be one of them. So like, I'm just like a young ass old dude now, I am. Like I used to have to do old things growing up. Like my parents would make me go to bed at the same time that they would go to bed. So it'd be like 8 o'clock in the summertime, and they'd be like, it's time for bed, little buddy. And I'd be like, but Matlock is still on. Like, Papa Squat, let's solve this case. Like, I got old ways, I can't shake them. Like, I'm the only one in my group of friends that still sends out checks for $5 for everybody's birthdays. It's a nest egg, you buy a house someday with that. I was a little nerdy kid too, so like I didn't know good insults and stuff, so I would try to use my parents' old time insults. That never worked out the way I wanted it to. I don't know if you guys ever got into an argument with a girl these days and you accidentally call her a hussy. You ever tried that? The argument's over after that. She thinks you just gave her some new age compliment. Like, ooh, girl, he called me a hussy. I'm pretty sure that's a honey that hustle. No, it ain't. Trying to call you a slut. No. And it's like, the older your parents are, the less you can complain to them, because they had it so much harder than you did growing up, you know? I remember this one time I was in 6th grade, I went to my dad, I was like, Dad, we need to get better internet in this house. We're still working off dial-up, and I hear there's better out there. My dad was like, son, is the damn internet the worst thing you got to complain about these days? And I'm like, yeah, man, this porn is so slow. I'm still working off of pictures. I hear there's movies out there, Dad. My dad was like, son, sit down and let me tell you about the time that I almost drank out a white drinking fountain. I was like, oh shit. Ooh, we shall overcome, brother. We all got our part to play in the struggle. This slow ass porn is mine. Like I'm gonna do. Not only were my parents old, you guys, but buckle up. I was raised by 2 black Catholic Republicans. Exactly. You see how that just doesn't hit the ear right? Like, did he say 2 of them? Like, how the fuck they find each other? A fucking rally of some sort. I don't know if it was a vampire situation, like one turn the other. I don't know what the fuck. But I had 2 of them. And they would try to do cool things for me, but they would mess it up all the time because they were who they were at the end of the day. Like I remember this one time I went to my parents, I was like, you guys, I need to learn how to dance. I don't know how to dance, man. Let's do something about this. And they were like, okay. Then they proceeded to sign me up for tap dance and ballet classes. I was like, this is not what I'm talking about. I don't know if you guys ever been in the middle of a heated dance battle and you're like, wait, I have on the wrong shoes for this occasion. That's how the fuck you get served. My parents would set me up. They didn't even realize they were doing it most of the time. They were just being them, but they're setting me up for absolute failure. I remember this one time, my parents were out shopping. They went out shopping. They were out all day, came back very proud of themselves. They were like, Ricky, we know you wanted a pair of new shoes, and we heard you talking. And we went out and we got you a pair of those Michael Jordan shoes all your friends are wearing. I should have known when they called them Michael Jordan shoes. Something was off. Nobody called them Michael Jordan shoes. They were Jordans. But I was a little nerdy kid, so I didn't know any better, right? So I went to school the next day very confident, and I stood up in front of the class, and I said, hey. All the jokes stopped today. Everybody take a look at my new pair of Jordans. And then somebody from the back was just like, motherfucker, those are Jordache. I was like, God damn, there's a basketball on the shoe. I didn't know no better. Just setting my ass up, man. I grew up in the inner city, but my parents had the bright idea to send me to an all-white private Catholic school. Spoiler alert, it wasn't a good idea. It was a good idea, but I grew up with a very confused kid, because I grew up in 2 different worlds, right? Like growing up, I was the kind of kid that would put Jay-Z, Shania Twain, and Korn all on the same CD. And I was just like, these genres mix well. That shit don't go together. You can't go from H to the Izzo to Any Man of Mine. It's 2 different tempos. It's not a good mix, is what I'm saying. Like I would get made fun of for the same thing, just in different ways, depending if I was at home or if I was at school. Right. Well, like when I was in school, all my friends made fun of me because I had to learn how to swim at the Y. They're like, Ricarlo, you have to learn to swim at the Y in like a public pool situation? That's so unfortunate for you. But then when I was back home, all my friends were just like, wait, you learned how to swim? Good job, Ann Arbor. That's what we call a tester joke. And you guys didn't laugh at it. I'm proud of you. In Belding, they fucking died laughing. They were like, them Negroes can't swim. I need to know what kind of crowd I'm in front of. Oh, man. So, what?
I said the condom didn't do it?
Yeah, that condom. I know what kind of crowd I'm in. Some freaky frogs. You're never getting this condom back. It's my lucky condom now. One day I'm gonna meet Beyonce. Jay-Z's gonna be in the cuck chair. That'll be my claim to fame. I'll make it fit for Beyonce. Whoever said that. You guys, when I was 19, growing up like that, I finally had an identity crisis. I was like, I need to figure out what world I belong in. I need to figure out who am I? So, you guys, I looked into thugging for 4 years. And anybody who knows thugging isn't something you fucking look into. It's not an elective in college, you know, like, I'm gonna take a semester of thuggery. No, that's not. I was all the way in the streets, you guys. I tried to sell crack for a summer. That was more like an internship. Had to learn the hard way, you know. They kicked me out of the trap house, you guys. They kicked me out of the trap house because I kept carving inspirational quotes into all of our meth rocks. And I was like, a blast a day keeps your demons at bay. I thought it was nice. Ice Pick did not. I learned valuable lessons, though. You want to know a valuable lesson you can take to your everyday life, sir? Okay. Here's how, I don't know, if you should find yourself as the driver for a drive-by, right? We've all been there. Saturday night, things are said, you know. The best way to get out of that is when everybody gets in the car, you just look around and say, all right, seatbelts on, let's skedaddle. And that's how a drive-by becomes a carjacking. It's just like, get the fuck out the car, Ricardo. Like, all right. I wasn't cool like drug dealers, you know, like other drug dealers. You see drug dealers in movies and stuff. Like people will go up to them like, damn, man, that's a nice watch. They'll be like, yeah, 20,000, baby, keep it moving. Like, that's cool as shit. I was not a cool drug dealer. I remember this one time, this crackhead came up to me and he was like, damn, Ricardo, you got the best shit in town. And I was just like, oh, shucks, you think? Like, thank you, sir. Like, you can't fucking bow in the streets. How that shit works, man. But you have to hit your rock bottom, right? You have to hit your rock bottom to know something isn't for you, you guys. And my rock bottom came when, you guys, I got shot. I did. A lot of people don't believe it. Like, looking at me now, they be like, you got shot with like a tetanus booster? Or like with a bullet. I got shot, you guys, and I almost died that night. I did. I almost died. I almost wasn't able to be here with you. And it's not where I got, damn, why is that funny? She thinks that is so funny. Shoe girl thinks my death is funny. No, I'm just kidding. No, I almost wasn't able to be here because, and it's not like where I got shot was life-threatening. She is dying. It's not like where I got shot was life-threatening or anything like that. I got shot in the leg. It's just that the driver of the car was really ill-prepared for the situation we found ourselves in that night. So once again, drive-by situation, Saturday night, things are said, guns are drawn, bang, bang, ah, you know? And I don't know if you've ever been in a drive-by, but afterwards you want to check yourself to see if you're okay. You want to check yourself. Oh, and I was like, I'm good. But then I looked down at my leg and I was like, oh, I've never seen that color blood before. And I said to the driver, the only thing you can say when you're shot, I'm hit. Because you need everybody to know what's going on immediately so you can put a plan together. So I was like, man, I'm hit, man, take me to the hospital. And the driver was like, You don't understand, bro. Like, man, there's been a shooting. I can't take you to the hospital. I'm like, what do you mean you can't take me to the hospital? That's what hospitals are for. Take me there. I've been shot. He's like, nah, bro, you don't understand. The police are probably gonna be there. And I'm pretty sure I got a couple warrants out there. I'm like, a couple warrants? I'm like, motherfucker, drop me off at the door. I'll crawl in. I'll be okay. He was like, nah, man, you know, honestly, the best thing I can do for you is, I can avenge you. Avenge me? Like, hold on, Nick Fury. This is a fucking through and through. I'm okay. Take me to the hospital. He's like, nah, man, you was a good dude. I'm like, what you mean I was a good dude? Like, he turned on the air conditioning, like, it's getting cold, baby. I'm like, turn that shit off and take me to the hospital. He reached in the back and pulled out a shirt with my picture in the clouds. I'm like, when did you have those made up? We see your ass carving them rocks. We knew you weren't gonna make it. I was like, touche, sir, touche. But you guys, that's not even the moment that I knew that the streets weren't for me. I still hadn't accepted it yet. I still have faith that I could be in the streets. The real moment came at about 12 o'clock in the morning, you know, when I had to call my dad. You know, you gotta call your parents after you've been shot. We've all been there, you know. So I called my dad up and I was like, okay, I've survived a shooting. I gotta be tough, right? So when my dad answered the phone, all I said was, man, they got your boy. And my dad was like, who the hell is this? I was like, it's me, Ricky, man. I got shot tonight, Dad. My dad was like, you got shot? I was like, yeah. He's like, you gonna be okay? I was like, yeah, the doctor said I'll be okay. A little physical therapy, I'll be all right. He was like, all right, good luck. Call me in the morning, click. And I was like, oh, shit. I didn't know you couldn't get your pop-pops in the street. I didn't know that wasn't part of it. And that's the moment I knew the streets weren't for me, you know. But I thought the streets were gonna be for me because I don't know if you guys remember, I said I was adopted earlier, right? So I did research like other adopted people. I did research into where I came from, and I found out that my biological father was in fact a pimp. So some people think that's cool, like, man, your dad was a pimp, so he had all the hoes, huh? According to the prosecutor, like, he ran a tight ship back in '95. Like, that ain't cool. You know the cool thing about having a pimp dad, sir? Nothing. There's nothing cool. I couldn't tell my friends about this dude. I couldn't bring him to fucking career day at school. Can you imagine? I'm just senior year and I'm like, here's my dad, Silky, everybody. He's just like, hey, baby. Anybody need a job? Like, pimp dad. Get out of here, you rascal. Senior year, man. My pimp dad would try. He would stop by on the day that in his mind was my birthday. It was not. And he would drop off little jewels of wisdom like a black Jimmy the Cricket from the hood. But it was always in this thick 70s pimp lingo, so I didn't know what the hell he was talking about most of the time. He'd come by and be like, hey boy, check this out. I was thinking. Sometimes in life, it's best if your shoes come with skates in case it rain. Woo! Don't get wet. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like trying to watch Shaft and Dolomite to decipher these ancient pimp riddles. I don't, what the hell this dude's talking about, man? Oh, man. Get ready to get out of here pretty soon, you guys. But like other comedians, I do sell a few things after the show, you know. I'd like to, you know, buy some shit. I got keychains here. I got a load of wooden keychains, and this one has a squirrel smoking a joint on it. And it says, hi hobbies, so that's fun. And then I got a little fork, and it just says, nom 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 nom. So, so that's fun for me. I was talking about being manly earlier. I do want to be manly, you guys, but there's a certain type of manliness I want to achieve. A certain type of manliness I want to achieve. And that's truck guy manliness. You got any truck guys out here? Who said that? You a truck guy? What kind of truck you got? F-150. Hell yeah, brother. Is it close to the ground still? You got that motherfucker jacked up. What you got? Is it
standard?
Standard? Okay, all right. Okay, any other truck guys out here?
What about girls?
Truck girls, we'll take a truck girl. What you got?
Ram 1500.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. What you got?
Chevy Silverado.
Chevy Silverado. Big puss energy. That's not part of the script. Nah, dude, I want to be a truck guy because a truck guy is like the manliest man, I feel like. Because a truck guy, they'll go to the lot and they'll buy the biggest fucking truck on the lot, right? And they'll get that thing home and they'll be like, yeah, this is a nice big truck, but you know what? It's too low to the ground. Then they'll go and they'll get the giant lift on it, you know, and they got to run to jump and get in their truck every day. And they're like, yeah, this is good, you know. Then one day they'll drive and they'll be like, you know what? This bitch is too quiet. People can't hear me coming from a mile away. I got to get the big pipes on her. So they go and they get the big pipes and they're like, yeah, you know what? Now I disturb residential areas. This is what I was going for, right? You know? And they got their big, loud, high truck. And one day they're sitting there in their truck guy stance, or girl, truck guy girl. I don't know why it's such a wide stance, but the truck guy stance, you know, it's all in the hips, you know? And they'll be like, yeah, this truck is missing something. You know what that son of a bitch is missing? Nuts. Then they'll go and they'll get nuts. Like, why do you gotta be so much of a man that you're like, my car could fuck your car? Ah! But you guys, when you're writing comedy and your thoughts start to wander, that last thing about the truck does got me to thinking. You guys realize Monday through Friday, somebody in America gets up, they kiss their spouse. Hey, I'm gonna see you after work. All right, don't forget, we're gonna go to the Johnsons for dinner. I know, we'll get to it after work. They say goodbye to their kids. Hey, don't forget about the science fair. I'll pick up the baking soda. We'll make the volcano when I get home from work, all right? They run, they jump in their big ass truck, you know? They drive in shitty morning traffic, listening to shitty talk radio, just the worst. They go to their fucking parking spot, same parking spot for 10 years. They go past the guard, Bob, same guard for 10 years. They go past their manager's been saying the same thing for 10 years. How was your weekend? Not long enough. That's the joke that they make, you know. And then they go to the machine and they work in a factory that makes truck nuts. What? Like, that's not like an agricultural thing? Like, those things don't grow from trees? Like, there's a production manager that's pissed off because the nuts aren't coming out on time. And then they sit in their little quarterly meetings and they make the, you know, they got Deb from HR. Nobody likes Deb, but you want anything done in that company, you gotta go to her to get it done, you know. And they make their little jokes. They're like, how are projections for next quarter? They're like, projections are low. That's the fucking joke they make. They think it's hilarious. But that last thought got me to thinking deeper. It got me to thinking deeper about jobs you don't think about on a daily basis. Somebody's out there doing this job and you never even thought about it. You guys know that they make dildos, right? Once again, this isn't like an agricultural thing where there's a production manager that's pissed off because the dildos aren't coming out fast enough in this company, you know? And then they sit in their quarterly meetings. They have their little quarterly meetings, you know? Once again, there's fucking Deb from HR. Nobody likes Deb. You want anything done in that company, you gotta go to Deb to do it, you know? They make their jokes. They're like, how are projections? They're like, projections are up. That's a joke that they make. They think it's hilarious. But then to take it a step further, you guys, in the back of the room, off by himself, just sketching in his little notebook, there's a dildo engineer. There's somebody's job to be like, no, put the vein on the left. And they know that's the best, mathematically, that's the best place to put that dick vein. They've run the numbers thrice. But my problem is, I think about the dildo engineer way too much. Because to me, this isn't something that you just graduated from U of M with your degree and you're like, I'm gonna go make dildo. No. This goes back to childhood. And I imagine this person, they probably come from like a long line of engineers, you know, like regular engineers, you know. Like their dad designed towns, their granddad designed trains and shit. Their mom, she loved dildos. And this person's just sketching, you know, in their notebook one day, and they leave their notebook, you know, and they're not drawing dicks, because that's disgusting. They're drawing mathematically perfect dildos. They leave the book, you know, and then the dad's walking through the house, and he's like, let's see what they're working on. What the fuck? What the fuck is this? And the dad gets pissed off, and he takes the kid's notebook, and he goes to the room, and he keeps the door in, and he throws the notebook on the bed, and it lands out open on a giant dildo. And the dad's like, what are you doing? What are you doing with this design? Why are the nuts all out of proportion like that? We talked about symmetry at lunch last week. You're better than this. And the kid's like, Dad, you don't understand, because you're looking at that design with an old school mind. That's a new school design. The nuts have to be a little bit off like that because it does increase the pleasure principle by 10%. I've run the numbers and I know that it works. And the dad's like, you know what? You can get the hell out of my house with this smut. And the kid's like, that's fine. I'm out of here. And he starts packing his bag and he goes to, like, I don't know, fucking Canada or wherever they make dildos, you know? And then the dad's sitting there and he's got the notebook open in front of him. He's just fuming, mad. He's like, I can't believe this. This is my son. I can't believe what they're doing. And then the mom walks up and she's commenting, honey, I understand you're angry. I get it. But look at what the kid's doing with the nuts. He's really onto something here. Guys, and that man's name was Jeff Bezos. Thank you, guys. I'm Ricarlo Winston. That's been my time.